What's up, everybody? It's me, only here with a good friend here, Bydmoc,
Hey, what's up?
and we're doing a little thing called Building with Bydmoc that I just came up like I don't know a minute or so ago, and we're trying to
That's
build
pretty
a
good.
team.
That's pretty good.
All right, the alliteration is nice. We're trying to build around the Blaze breed Tauros, and the whole strategy here is we have the Mirror Herb. We want to get the Intimidate to try and get a Defiant Mon to get a +2, or we also can partner it up with something like a Tornadus that gets Prankster Swagger and also can support with Tailwind. Um, so I'm trying to think. We saw a weakness here when we first started building this, which was obviously Urshifu, the bane of my existence. But you
That
know what?
bear is a problem for everybody.
We also just have a slug that, if you've seen the Go to the Top series, you know I love this thing. It's obviously we want Storm Drain, not Sticky Hold here. And I was thinking Terra Fairy in the event that they go for close combat, right? That way you got the resist on it. What else did we have? So with Tauros, I was thinking a pretty simple set like Flare Blitz. We got close combat.
Now, I know we were debating whether or not we wanted to use the signature move, right?
Yeah, so it was like Raging Bull. No, Raging Bull. So it's 90 base power and it destroys screens.
Okay.
Obviously you don't get the recoil, but Flare Blitz, that extra oomph is kind of nice.
It is
Come
the
off.
extra power is nice, especially with grass types running around in the format right now.
You definitely want to be able to pick up those KOs. I say we stick with. We can either stick with Flare Blitz or stick with Raging Bull, and then if we don't get the knockouts, or if we don't stick around long enough. So I feel like part of me wants to do Raging Bull just to see the animation. But
And I
what do
mean,
you,
how often do you get a chance to use this move on ladder, right?
all right, Raging Bull it is. And then we have one last slot for coverage. We could do something like ground type. We could. It does get Endeavor, but I don't think that was even on our radar. You can get Iron Head.
I really liked the idea of Ironhead on there. Not only for the steel type coverage, but also the chance to flinch. Flinching is
Okay,
pretty
so
disruptive, and I
if we are
like to
talking
troll
about
people and
flinches,
annoy people, so
there is another flinch move we can get here. Rock Slide.
that's true. That's true. It's spread as well.
Mm. So do we have anything on the team though that kind of hits fairies hard so far? Obviously not so far, but oh, you know what? I think we should go Rock Slide here because there was one mon you suggested that I never thought I would hear you say. We can get Heatran.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I kind of hate myself for suggesting it, not gonna lie.
but it wasn't just
Ever
any sort
since
of
I
Heatran.
suggested it, I regretted it.
You suggested weakness policy with like a surf support Dragapult.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Thank you for remembering all of this.
Well, I had it built, you know. Obviously we want Flash Fire on here. That's a no brainer. So are you thinking just the classic Terra Grass
I
or
mean, Terra Grass is pretty strong on Heatran just because, I mean, obviously, if you're not thinking, you're going to want to hit that with a fire type attack, right?
yeah. And then what? It only has weakness to flying and bug, which it hits bug super effectively.
Right.
The
And we have a very strong bull if we're putting Rock Slide on it that can threaten those
flying
flying
types.
types.
You know what we're kind of missing though? Now that I'm looking at, oh, you know what? We can get ice coverage, so that's fine. That's a Landorus sorted out right there. So for moves, what are you thinking? Like Earth Power, maybe
So Earth Power is strong.
Flamethrower, or you want Heat Wave?
Now, personally, I'm a fan more of Flamethrower over Heatwave just because I'm always terrified of missing attacks.
So I ended up fighting someone online, and I had my Heat Train, and I was like, they sent out this Bramble Gas. I'm gonna destroy it with Heat Wave. Wind Rider is an
Ooh,
ability, and I don't ever want to.
oof.
I'm glad you chose Flamethrower. I didn't want to be that guy who was just like, I don't want to not, but I'm pleased. I'm
Yeah,
very happy with that. So now we
and it was
have.
completely intentional. That's exactly what I was thinking in the back of my head is specifically that situation.
Wow, you just know me so well. So final thought, we could do Terra Blast. But since we're not like in a Soul Vest, I kind of feel like we want Protect on here. But now we don't
Yes.
have like a steel coverage.
All right. So if we're looking at the team here, we got one more slot, right?
Got one slot. We were torn between a whole bunch of mons. There was like
So we're
Sinistra.
obviously, yep, Sinistra would be nice to heal up a little bit, but
I was gonna
you
say we don't
said
have an Intimidate, but it's literally the
we
first mon.
were we're obviously missing um a
Answer.
fairy counter, right?
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
having I mean, I guess the only mon that we're really worried about fairies for would be the Dragapult, which is mainly support anyway, right?
yeah, you get a point. I was just kind of thinking of we want to just knock out Fluttermane. Like that's just the fairy that
That's
I'm scared
fair.
of.
That's fair. Um,
Oddly enough, do you know what Pokemon's not too bad for Fluttermane? Because it gets Heavy Slam.
yeah.
That's an option.
It
Obviously,
also adds fake out support.
we then get a Soul Vest, so we're not using a Soul Vest.
Right.
Obviously, we want Drain Punch. Okay, now wait a minute. The other what are you thinking for that last
So
slot?
then the other thing is we could give this something like wild charge as well.
You really just this is a recoil team now.
Hey,
I'm down.
if it works, it works.
We're gonna find out. All right, so we have Dragon
um,
Darts, obviously.
of course.
So
What item did we want to put on this? Did we want this to be a scarf
I
pull?
think we were thinking Scarf. That way we can surf Gastrodon, we can surf Weakness Policy. So yeah, I kind of didn't really explain that. Dragapult also has synergy with Gastrodon to get the Storm Drain going off. So that's kind of cool. So yeah, we have Surf, Dragon Darts. Do we want this to be physical? Probably,
Well,
yeah, huh?
probably so that way Surf doesn't do a huge amount of damage to the Heatran. We can
Boba?
do an Adamant Pult or a Jolly Pult.
Part of me says let's Jolly, just so we're like super
Okay,
fast. Like, what is outspeeding this? Probably something,
true.
but and
Probably the one thing we're not thinking about.
probably just max attack and slap it in HP. I always just throw it in HP because I don't know, like, do I want defense? But it's spread there, so it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not really a huge issue.
But we still have moves.
Probably Phantom Force.
Okay, I know some people were doing Terra Ghost, Terra Blast
Okay.
for Ghost type moves, but I feel like we're gonna be trying to use our Terra with other Mons here, so I kind of
I
like
also
not
like the
going that
idea
route.
of I also like the idea of Phantom Force too, because if somebody were to target it and it's disappeared, that's just a waste of a turn on the opponent's side, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, and it's fast, so it's not like it's gonna just. It's an easy read, and also it breaks protect. I didn't know it breaks protect. I thought it just hit through protect. Granted,
Oh
who's
no,
gonna click
it's
protect
broken if you
after
can
it's?
get it right.
Mm. You have to encore. There it is. Oh, you know what we also could do? Something like U-turn.
I am a fan of U-turn on choice Mons, not
Yeah.
gonna lie.
So we need a couple more moves on Tornadus and Gastrodon here. I think everything else is moved up. I'm sorry for jumping all over the place. I feel
I'm keeping
obligated
up
to
as
get.
best I can, don't worry.
I'm thinking Earth Power, probably Protect and maybe Yawn.
Did we
That's
want Yawn or did we want Recover? Did we want to make this an annoyingly bulky Gastro?
mm, that's up because I think we're doing leftovers, right? Because we don't have
Okay.
leftovers on anything yet. So we do have passive recovery. We can also protect there. I really like hitting a Yawn when they're sending in their last two mons. That way they're just stuck with one that goes to sleep, unless they're low
Oh,
or something. But
you are the worst kind of person.
that's right. But it feels good, and it's definitely won me several games just being able to click yawn. If you think we should
Yeah.
go recover, just know every game I'm going to say we could have clicked yawn here.
No, I can support the yawn, especially because it can force a switch, which gives you more chance to set up or pivot
That
out into
too.
something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I totally didn't forget about that. So now we also have Tornadus, which I feel like is one of those mons that just has so many moves that I want to
Yeah,
use
it's like,
them.
what do you really want to put on there?
I feel like Bleak Wind you kind of have to. Feels silly not
Um,
to.
did you want this to be a speed control mon and have icy wind on there?
Hmm. I didn't think about that, but that honestly would be cool. Because if we do, let's say in theory we get our Tauros in with Tornadus next to it, our Intimidate goes off Defiant, we get +2.
Yeah,
We can do Tailwind turn 1, and then this has Protect. So in the event that they have something that's fast, that we're not sure if our Tauros is going to outspeed, we could just
yep,
Icy Wind that following turn, and that guarantees a speed drop instead of banking on Bleak Winds 30% after an accuracy
right.
check, or
And
a
especially if we're
95%.
facing down opposing tailwind teams,
No,
it's
I'm
going to
liking
be
that.
kind of awkward to hit that tailwind turn one only to have a faster mon also get tailwind up.
Do you know what else we can do? We could do Scary Face instead
Scary
of Icy
face would
Wind.
work. It gets that prankster as well, so that would be a good
Yeah,
option.
I think I like Scary Face more. Just because I know that 5%, I don't want to lose that 5%. I really don't.
Yeah, that's fair.
And now we have one attack. Are you thinking just
So
Bleak
did
Wind?
we want Bleak Wind or did we want knockoff to maybe cripple mons that require their items?
So it actually has much better attack set than I thought. I just feel like having stab flying is just nice. Oh,
Okay.
how did I how did I manage that? There we go.
What did you just post there? What link is that? Quick
I think
screenshot that.
I just click and dragged flying over there. All right, so we've got Mirror Herb Tauros. I'm definitely thinking some
Well, we
investment. I
need it to
don't.
be fast, right?
Yeah, there you go. And probably just we'll probably fine tune that later to try and see if we can hit certain benchmarks.
I mean, it's got a pretty decent defense and
Yeah,
everything already, so
maybe I don't know if I want to take
maybe
some
instead
off
of
of
putting maybe instead of putting that extra bit into HP, put it into special defense.
maybe something like this. Here, I want to make this 151. I don't know why. Actually, no, 150 is nice. This looks nice. 28 special defense EVs helps us sleep at night. Oh, you know what
Yeah,
else? We could also make it.
especially against, like Fluttermanes and stuff like that.
Are you feeling jolly or adamant though? Because with
Ooh, that's the question. I mean, we have enough speed
speed
support
control,
on Tornadus. I think we can get away with Adamant.
I agree
Just hit
wholeheartedly.
really hard. Hard.
I feel obligated to always run max speed just for prankster ties.
Yeah.
So let's do it timid here. And I don't I don't really know people run on these. So let's
Well, do we want it
run.
to stick on the field a little more? Because we
I
don't
mean if
really need it for the attack stat all that much, right?
no, not really. I mean Bleakwood's always nice. You know, if there's nothing that's immune to it, it feels good.
Yeah. But I don't think we really need to invest into the attack stats, just because it's good enough as it is.
That's
So we
fair.
can probably just throw the rest into its defenses, right?
I agree. So you want to do a little split, or you want to just go heavy into one, even it out, try and make
Well,
it the same number?
what are we worried about hitting it? I guess would be the question. Do we have a fear of more physical attackers?
I feel like there's more physical in the meta right now. Just because I'm thinking Ogerpon, I'm thinking Urshifu,
Yeah,
Landorus.
yeah,
So
those
maybe
are
something like this would
probably
be
the
nice.
biggest. So maybe throwing into HP and defense would be the smartest
Oh,
way to go about it.
you can see what I'm doing right now, right?
Oh, I can.
Okay, I was just like just making sure. We also didn't get an item. Are you thinking?
I'm
Uh,
actually thinking mental herb.
I was gonna ask if you're thinking mental herb or covert cloak, but that works. So I think excluding a couple EVs, we're done here. We just need to do Gastrodon and Heatran and Iron Hands. But there's a spread of Iron Hands I saw somewhere that I wanted to use on something, so I'm just gonna copy paste that once.
Oh, so you have a plan for the hands already.
Just it's like set up so in Trick Room or not Trick Room in Tailwind it outspeeds something. I remember like seeing it. I was like, oh yeah, that was cool. I don't remember what it was. Oh,
It
you know,
must have
here
been
it
pretty
is.
important if you remember it so vividly.
Look at this is the spread right here. Oops, 76 plus. Then 4 on the. You know, it's like important when they do like the. Why can't I click? There you go. Jeez. And then boom. Thank you, Sableye, for this. I don't remember what it does, but
You don't remember what it does, but we're just gonna hope for the best here.
it
Hope
looked
that it counters
professional. Am I
exactly what we
wrong?
need it to counter.
Oh, you know what else? Well, we didn't really go over is some other Terra types.
Mm. So did we want Terra Fire on the bull here? Or did we want to go Terra Rock so that in the event we need the rock slide, we can take advantage of that?
We could also do fighting for close combat. I feel like fire,
You feel like
just
fire's
because
the
I feel like we're gonna click Raging Bull a lot. Like I feel like we don't want to be spamming Rock Slide more than we want to just take out one massive knockout with a turn per turn.
That's fair.
Okay. Um,
And honestly, we'll probably even if we're worried about specifically the things that rock would hit for super effective, we can probably get more mileage out of a Terra Fire Raging Bull anyway. So I would agree with that.
okay. I feel obligated since we don't have Covert Cloak. We probably want Ghost on
Hmm.
Tornadus. We went over Gastrodon's Terra Fairy, Terra Grass, Dragapult. We didn't go over.
Did we want to
I,
do Ghost so that we can? Well, I guess we don't really need to worry about Fake Out to begin with, right? So it doesn't really matter.
we could do something defensive like Water or Steel. Or actually, Dragon Ghost. What hits Dragon Ghost super effectively besides Fairy? Oh, you know what? I think
Dark.
Oh wait, was I doing? I hope I wasn't doing monitor capture. I hope I was doing. Well, let's just hope no one saw my background there. So um, it's something inappropriate, just weird, and I don't want to explain it. So what hits Dragapult super effectively? We have
So we
Ghost,
have to worry
Ice,
about
Dragon,
Dark.
Dark, and Fairy.
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
mean,
out of those types, what's the most common right now? Dark, right?
Ghost, Fairy.
Yeah, I guess Fluttermane
So we
is
could
tough as well.
do Terra Steel. Terra Steel
Okay.
versus both of those. And I think Dragon too, right?
Well, Dragon's weak to the fairy.
Well, no, like what does Steel resist?
Oh, you're talking
Resists.
about if it were Terra Steel, what it would
Hmm.
resist. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think Steel would be really good defensively here. So if you're thinking something else, speak now. If you're fine with Steel, we
Oh,
can
I
stick with
got I
Steel.
got nothing. After once the Dragapult gets the surf off, my brain leaves it forever.
All right, and then this fellow is just Water, Terra Water for defense.
Okay.
So are you feeling good about this? I actually have a shiny Tauros that I had an
Oh.
outbreak, and I actually got two of them from that outbreak, and they both have the same mark.
Oh my god.
So
Well, now you're just flexing.
if we get a win, you're getting one of them. Only if this team gets a win, you will be
Only if it
getting.
gets a
Yes.
win. All right,
Uh,
I might need to be invested in this a little more then.
so yeah, it is the Furious too. It's a thematically correct mark. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna
So
go get
what are
this
the
built.
spreads? Because we don't have the spreads on Gastro and Heatran yet, right?
Oh, this is very very true. Um, honestly, I was ready to just jump in and try and build it, but yeah, that'd be a pretty sad Gastrodon.
Yeah, we might not get very far with that.
I mean, we might be able to, you know, take care of an Urshifu, but that's about it.
True,
So I honestly don't know
true. It can
what.
cripple a water Urshifu, that's for sure.
I don't know what people run on these.
I'm
I
pretty
see.
sure the one I did
Ooh,
that was a little lackluster. I invested into
you said lackluster.
it was a little lackluster, not gonna lie. Because I wanted to use the storm drain, but I focused more on the defenses,
Hmm.
and it didn't really pack as much of a punch as I wanted it to.
So I do
But I know
see a.
you had a lot of luck with yours. So what did you focus down?
I literally went something like this. I li- I just kind of slapped
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Really? Maybe I just got very unlucky in my matchups then.
Um, I do see two sets. I see a bold set and I see a modest set. So do we really want this thing to try and go off and do a bunch of damage with Storm Drain, or do you want it to stick around and just kind of harass people?
I mean, I am a fan of harassing people,
All right,
but
so
at
let's
the same time, the
seeing
way
Gastrodon take
we
names.
I feel like we should let Gastrodon take names because right now, what do we really have as our main focus for the sweepers, you know? We have the Tauros and then Heatran, right?
Yeah, I mean Iron Hands. I feel like it isn't a sweeper, but it definitely you know does a lot of damage. So this was
True.
no, this was supposed to be modest. So is this looking all right? That looking good?
I think that looks good.
All right, now we just have Heatran left. It's
This
weakness
one's your
policy.
wheelhouse. I have never built with Heatran before, so I have no ideas.
So you know the strategy when we went to a oh, whatchamacallit, a local together. Do you remember what my strategy was when we went there?
You wanted to bring that Heatran and thought that everybody would be using Heatran, and you were the only one that had the Heatran.
No, but do you know how I built that Heatran?
I do not.
I just went on Picolytics and picked a random set. So I feel
So we
like,
got to do the same thing then. We can't put any thought into this. We have to just pick
give
a
or
random
take,
set.
I like this one. This one's got attack, or not attack. We've got the HP investment. We've
Okay.
got defense. We've got special attack. We've got special defense and 76 speed. I feel like that speed might be kind of nice in whatchamacallit? Tailwind.
Okay.
We could go
So
timid. We
we
could
have
go modest. I feel like they were suggesting modest.
to get more of a punch behind it.
Yeah, but if we're at +2, I think timid's probably fine, huh? Because this isn't supposed to be a
True,
weakness
because we're
policy
not really
set.
going to bring it without the weakness policy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Because everyone else brings, assault vest, leftovers, life orb. I don't even. It's not even on the usage. No one brings weakness policy Heatran.
That
So
just
this
means we're ahead of the curve.
this team is totally viable for Regulation E. Do you have any questions before we jump in? Anything you want to share with the viewers at home?
Just I am sincerely um sorry for even suggesting a weakness policy Heatran. I am disgusted with myself, and I vow to never let it happen again.
All right, let's hope we actually get something out of it though. Let's see.